All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Leticia Giddens, and I'm the Product Marketing Manager for Microsoft Surface Hub. I want to thank you all for joining us in our four-part webinar series, this being the second of the four. We are so excited to be highlighting Hub in today's hybrid world. In the first of our series, we'll look at how education can benefit from Microsoft Surface Hub's 2S. Its unique feature set, which lights up the collaborative experience of teams, being a major opportunity in aiding all types of education. If you missed it, don't worry, it is available on demand, and we will share the link with you in a follow-up email. Because it was so well received, we've decided to create customer-facing webinars, or we've been asked to create customer-facing webinars. So please let us know if you would like to use with your customers. Microsoft continues to support partners with the right information so that you can engage with your customers at a deeper level. And focusing on Hub today, specifically highlighting Surface Hub 2S in manufacturing environments with firsthand knowledge from Collabtech's unique perspective. We're so excited to be sharing some stories from successful deployments from all around the world. As we know, manufacturing is vital, and it requires the physical presence of shop floor workers, which is creating a wide range of challenges that have been emphasized and added to by COVID-19. The speed of change and the requirement for digital collaboration to keep up with the demands of this rapidly changing world delivers all an opportunity to enable manufacturers to successfully, efficiently, and safely keep the world supply chain working. Are you excited? Because I hope so. And if so, I want to remind you of your disties to transact Surface Hub with. It's going to be Ingram Micro, Synex, and Tech Data. Be sure to reach out to your sales team for help on your Surface Hub deals. Now, in addition to the session, there's more information that will help you build opportunity in the recently published Surface Hub ebook and supporting infographic, both of which will be shared with you after these webinars. So I hope you're ready and excited. It's time to give everyone a front row seat into the world of supply chain and manufacturing. In fact, this sector alone employs over 20% of the world's workforce. So the Collabtech team, can you tell us more about the manufacturing sector?
Wow, Leticia, thank you very much for that introduction. That was wonderful. And it really does help us position what we're talking about today, which is manufacturing and that supply chain as well. Just quickly, housekeeping rules is please post your questions in the questions chat box we've got open. We love to hear your questions, any feedback. Leticia's already hinted that we have lots of requests actually for if we can run webinars for your customers, and yes, we would love to do so. So if you're one of those resellers, channel partners, and you want us to run those on your behalf or with you, then please get in touch with your local Microsoft representative, because we'd love to hear from you on that. So without further ado, let's jump straight into Let's just jump straight into a sizzle reel, actually, just a quick video to share with you that we've produced to support this webinar series. And this is specifically dedicated to manufacturing and supply chain. So let's kick this off now.
With manufacturing operations distributed around the globe, sharing information requires technology that breaks down barriers from language and geography through to the inclusion of locally held information to allow teams to communicate and actively collaborate in real time using data that is accessed and retained securely. The Microsoft Surface Hub 2S brings collaboration to every step of the supply chain, no matter where teams are located. External personnel connect to the central office seamlessly, communicating using video while simultaneously working on shared content. This information can then be reshared out to co-workers, irrespective of location, on either personal or group devices. Supply chain is where multiple organizations meet, often resulting in analog elements of the process flow. With Microsoft Whiteboard on Surface Hub 2S, this can easily be captured and included into a digital workflow, creating both a living document and audit trail. Participating in a multi-company meeting could not be easier. Using Microsoft Teams and Surface Hub 2S, communication is clear, seamless and instant, reducing costs associated with both time and travel. The Surface Hub 2S can be used to review designs and suggest changes, using content sourced directly from devices within the Microsoft Teams meeting or connected locally using Miracast. This allows information sourced from multiple devices and software platforms to be dynamically captured and collated to enable real-time efficiencies. Real-world, real interaction. Surface Hub 2S bridges the digital and physical divide in today's hybrid workplaces, further enhanced by the global availability of Microsoft Surface Hub 2S 85-inch in 2021.
2021, well, we're here. How exciting. Talking to the Corp team yesterday, the official launch of the 85-inch was, what day are we now? Wednesday. It was actually Monday. So we've been talking about it for such a long time, but it's finally here. So great news that eventually 84-inch has been replaced by the 85-inch. And yes, for anybody that missed the last webinar, we had quite a few questions around the 85-inch. In fact, based on how do we move it around? Sorry, the 85-inch, is it easier than the 84-inch was? And yes, we've got general availability, and yes, it's much easier, being that 40% lighter, and it actually tilts into a vertical position, so you can actually get it into elevators as well, which is fantastic. So let's begin. Let's just talk about the manufacturing and supply chain sector here. Again, just a reminder, pop your questions in to the chat box. We are going to come to those later on in today's webinar. No questions off limits, when we'll try and get to them all. So let's jump straight into hub in a hybrid manufacturing world here. Right, let's really take a look. First of all, I want to start to position what manufacturing is. Who do we class as manufacturing? How big is the opportunity? And we also talk about supply chain. But let's first of all talk about the market position of manufacturing. So as you can see here, there's a big headline. The two headlines I want to draw your attention to. 20% of the world's workforce is in manufacturing, which is a staggering percentage of the world's workforce. In fact, that's so millions and millions of people are going to work. We're lucky enough to be what we call knowledge workers, but we've got these workers here, which is 600 million in the manufacturing sector, are actually still going into work. And we're calling this a fourth industrial revolution, if you like, where manufacturing is moving to now. We're seeing more automation within the manufacturing sector, and we're seeing advanced technologies coming into this sector. We're not seeing it replace human beings yet, which is great news, but we are seeing this data coming into the manufacturing sector. IoT is a massive part of this increase in data, so Internet of Things data, and this creates data that's local to the manufacturing facility. And what we're seeing is that we're seeing manufacturers have a central expertise hub, if you like, Surface Hub, no pun intended, and this central expertise then speaks to their satellite manufacturing areas that are in other countries. In fact, a lot of other countries then need to collaborate more and more into that central skills area. So with this, we can see 14% of CAGR is in the big data in manufacturing, and there's a European figure there, but it's particularly important that in Europe 21% of employees are still working on that factory floor. So as you can see, there are a lot of people, even in today's lockdown world, that are still actually going in to a work environment. Right, let's get on to some bigger figures. This productivity, a boost in productivity through digital collaboration, that immediate response, the immediate real-time information and data. And it could, if we get this right, if we get this digital collaboration right in manufacturing, unlock $100 billion worth of value just by, imagine, just by ensuring the data flow is seamless, is real time, and it's connecting the right people. And we see 4 trends actually driving this digital collaboration area. The first one I intimated to, the people are still needed in manufacturing, which is great news, but we're losing a lot of the experienced people. Those baby boomers are retiring. It's just that time. And we're seeing less skilled people come into the workforce, but they're younger and probably less costly as well. But we need to keep that skills up. So those skills are centrally located where the less experienced personnel can then be kept really at the edge, let's call it, but in those satellite manufacturing environments. And then we talk about regionalisation. We used to talk about offshoring, if you've ever heard that phrase, but probably due to logistical costs, but also the impact of COVID, we're seeing this phenomenon called next shoring. For example, in countries called MINT countries, it's the first time I'd heard about this one, but Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria and Turkey, they are becoming prime countries for that satellite manufacturing operation. So we're creating a real separation between where design happens and where engineering tooling happens, and then where the production actually happens. So a huge need for collaboration between the central location and the edge, of course, there. Then we look at how the shop floor is working, and there's a huge spread of the data around onto that shop floor, and it needs to be bridged somehow, and it needs to be pushed back in. So we're not just pushing out central to satellite, we need to push back in as well. And COVID has obviously accentuated this need for real-time communication, and real-time communication from expertise to the satellite, but also there's a huge spotlight on health and safety. So in all of this, we need to make sure that our employees are safe and that there's great physical interaction with all teams. So, and that's that's the impact of COVID, and that's what we're all seeing. So if we look now at work practices within this manufacturing and supply chain, what we're seeing is there's a fragility in the companies that are supplying the manufacturing companies. So that supply chain organisation. Imagine where we were, where you had a central or a manufacturing plant that manufactured everything in one place, and the supply chain was sat around that as well. Now we're moving to satellite in the MINT countries. The supply chain is more fragmented. The supply chain is now potentially based in multiple countries. So we need to really think about how the communication works, how it works over geographies, how it works with different languages as well. It's hugely important that any communication tool we use has that backbone of breaking down those boundaries. And we're going to come and talk to you about breaking down boundaries as well. So in essence, what we see in supply chain is the ability to, when we're using Surface Hub, use it as a communication platform that allows people in different locations to talk together in real time at any time. And the reason Collabtech has actually been partnering with Microsoft on this is the reason that Collabtech doesn't sell hardware. So Collabtech is a service-based company actually built around Microsoft Surface Hub and supporting the channel with the deployment, integration and installation of Microsoft Teams devices such as Surface Hub and other Microsoft Teams devices. So the importance to manufacturing is seen all across the globe. So what we'd really like to do is share just a collection of a few stories that Collabtech have directly been involved in with resellers, with channel partners in the deployment of Hub based into that manufacturing and supply chain arena. So I hope you enjoy this. Please sit back and listen to Yazin share some stories with you.
Hello and welcome to Hub in a Hybrid World. My name is Yasin Hayo. I am a collaboration specialist at Collabtech. We help people work better together. We are currently experiencing the world's largest work experiment. COVID-19 has revolutionized the way in which we are working. How do you solve problems that are many miles away from where you might be working? How do you interact and work together with colleagues who may not be physically in the same location as you? Many of our customers in manufacturing have found innovative and amazing solutions to this problem. Ourselves at Collabtech work with the channel. We don't sell directly, and this means that we have seen many success stories of how Surface Hub has aided and revolutionized how customers in manufacturing are working. And what we have done is compiled that information into a 15-minute webinar of our favorite manufacturing stories of how Surface Hub and Microsoft Teams is being used. Let's jump straight into a high-level overview. So the Surface Hub is really about dissolving boundaries, agile tools, and maintaining a digital workflow. If there is only 3 things you take away from today's session, let them be these 3 things here. The Surface Hub dissolves boundaries between the physical and the virtual space, allowing analog and digital content to interact together seamlessly. The agility of the Surface Hub allows you to virtually as well as physically move around and be mobile. The steel case stand that comes with the Surface Hub means you can actually wheel it around, and the option of the APC battery means that you won't even lose power or connectivity when you are doing so. The digital workflow of the Surface Hub allows you to continuously work without breaking your digital stride. The Surface Hub gives you creative and innovative tools that allow you to continue working with ease. It is not at all atypical for a customer of ours to have head office located in Paris, corporate office located in London, and manufacturing plants located in North America, India, as well as China. How do we get all of these pieces working together in harmony at the same time? A Surface Hub in each one of these locations as a central all-in-one collaboration point allows our customers in manufacturing to easily and seamlessly work together. The simple nature of the Surface Hub, as well as some of the native applications on the Surface Hub like Microsoft Teams and Word, means that there is minimal training required to reach proficiency in using Surface Hub. In other words, it's a walk up and use device. Let's take a look at a real world scenario of how Surface Hub was used. One customer of ours, a manufacturing and bottling plant to be specific, found an innovative way to collapse the decision-making process using the Surface Hub, saving time and therefore saving money. I think that is of course important for every single company. How exactly did they do this? Well, a quality assurance engineer came up with an excellent idea for some new materials to use in a bottling plant. Ordinarily, because this process involves many different stakeholders, this could take weeks and even months for the plan to go from inception to fruition. But using Surface Hub, this was trimmed down dramatically. Having all of the relevant people on a Microsoft Teams call, all of the relevant decision makers, essentially sped this process up exponentially, allowing collaboration and communication seamlessly and very easily. One way in which this was done by this manufacturing company was to bring in content to the Surface Hub from Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, the web, or in this case, Miracast. Live information from chats within Microsoft Teams were quickly and easily imported to the Surface Hub and brought as part of the digital workflow of what was going on. This in turn allowed real-time collaboration between all of the different stakeholders and allowing a free-flowing exchange of information. Now, as you can see, there are many different ways in which you can work with the Surface Hub. There is the visual and audio aspect of the Surface Hub, but there is also an interactive way of working together with your colleagues in real time. Now, data and security is another important point. If there is confidential information that you want to keep to yourself on Surface Hub, you can simply end the session and walk away from the Surface Hub without having to worry about your data being lost. I'd like you to take note of the 3 elements that Surface Hub has just made use of: visual, verbal, and interactive, the three types of learning, you could say. The Surface Hub has been able to combine all three of these whilst not having physical proximity to the people you are collaborating with. Let's take a look at another scenario. How do you solve a problem that is 2,000 miles away? This was a problem faced by one of our customers in manufacturing, and they found a creative solution to get around this problem. This particular customer relied on the movement of goods through their warehouse and their factory floor. This means that any interruption or any problems with their machinery could cost thousands, if not millions, in lost revenue, if not fixed very, very quickly. Using the Surface Hub, this customer was able to pinpoint where the problem was on the manufacturing floor. Because of the agility of the Surface Hub, utilizing the steel case stand and the APC battery, they were actually able to physically wheel the Surface Hub to the problem, meaning that you can get rid of power and Ethernet cables and actually bring the hub to where it needs to be, as opposed to the other way around. Pictures of the piece of machinery were then uploaded onto the whiteboard, and collaborators used it to then troubleshoot and find out exactly where the problem is. Technicians were able to also collaborate directly onto the Surface Hub to provide troubleshooting fixes for this particular scenario. In this particular case, fortunately, the machinery was up and running again in minutes. This could have been a potentially disastrous situation had Surface Hub not been able to come to the rescue, so to speak. Now let's take a look at how the 85-inch Surface Hub is used in manufacturing.
The 85-inch Surface Hub 2S provides manufacturers with all the Surface Hub features we love on a larger 85-inch matte display. With a much greater proportion of real estate than its 50-inch counterpart, the 85-inch caters for more rugged uses of the Surface Hub. As you can see from this side-by-side comparison, the gorgeous 85-inch provides much more space. This caters to cases where manufacturers want the collaborative freedom to work, yet require more physical space to do so. The only real downside of the 85-inch is that it doesn't quite fit into our studio, so our CollabTech colleagues from our Mesa office are here to show you around. So far, we've talked about using the Surface Hub to drive business decisions through powerful visual communication, and how Surface Hub allows experts to bring it to the problem. The final Hub success story we want to share with you is one engine manufacturer we work with through the channel, who are using Hub to run tests and perform real-time diagnostics in virtual environments, increasing efficiency, saving time, and reducing travel costs. We were invited on site to configure multiple Surface Hubs, designed to be used as part of a large network of synchronized engine tests. On-site engineers were able to meet through Microsoft Teams on the predecessor of the 85-inch, the 84-inch Surface Hub 1. With a full-screen video feed, experts were able to collaboratively troubleshoot, with multiple people gathered around the Surface Hub. In today's hybrid world, the large display of the 85-inch means it can be used in larger meeting room spaces, allowing participants an opportunity to socially distance while still working together. They also use the 85-inch to display interactive, real-time telemetry data, creating a virtual environment in which they performed real-time testing and increased engagement without having to fly individuals on site. This is only proven to be a more valuable use case, as in today's world, flying is not an option for many. Not only does the 85-inch allow multiple collaborators to work together in real time, but it also grants the capability for it to be used as the central mission control of the project. The 85-inch has a superior ability to visualize content. Multitasking is seamless, making use of the 85-inch hub's extra real estate to do so with minimal loss in the size of the window when compared to the 50-inch. Annotations, brainstorming, and audio-visual communication allow the dissolving of boundaries between sites, reducing the impact of lack of proximity to the problem. In short, the 85-inch Surface Hub 2S has all the amazing features of the 50-inch, with much more real estate, granting freedom to manufacturers in larger spaces, and allowing power use cases where real-time multitasking is imperative.
So there you have it. The Surface Hub is about dissolving physical and virtual boundaries, enabling collaboration across all different locations all around the globe. It's about the agility the Surface Hub provides, especially within manufacturing, allowing you to wheel the hub to the problem. And it's about creating a smooth digital workflow whilst doing all these things, so your customers can actually focus on doing the work that they need to do. Thank you very much. I'm Yassine Hayo, Collaboration Specialist.
Thank you so much, Yassine. Really great stories there from some of the deployments we've been involved in. I particularly like it when you say hub saves the day. I do have this mental image of hub with a cape on, saving the day. So, but thank you for that. And the story on the bottling plant is a real one, and hub was able to go to the problem. So a 50.5-inch hub taken to the problem on the production line, and multiple stakeholders in that helping to solve that problem were engaged on a Teams call. The blueprint was shared of the production line, and everybody was able to create a solution really quickly, a resolution. And I think Yassine said on the call, but you know, just that one situation probably paid for its hub right there and then, just solving that problem so quickly. So thank you, that was really informative. Now we're going to move to questions. We've got a couple in, so please keep putting them in if you've got any questions. The first one I'm going to pose to Yassine, and this is actually about WebEx. Now, this can relate to more than just manufacturing companies, I think, and this is one that we see quite frequently. If organisations have legacy equipment such as WebEx, how does Hub work? How can we make Hub work with WebEx? Yassine.
Thank you for that question, Jane. As you said, that is a very common question that many people do ask. WebEx is at this moment in time compatible with the Surface Hub, and how many people are using it is by installing Edge Chromium onto the Surface Hub and then downloading the plugin for WebEx, and that will allow you to actually have meetings on Cisco WebEx that you can now use the Surface Hub for.
Wonderful. Thank you, Yassine. That's really useful. So again, anybody with legacy equipment, you can use Hub with WebEx as well. Okay, so the next question, Leticia, I think I'm going to ask this one of you, and this is from a channel partner, clearly used to selling Hub, asking about what discounts are available. If I can give that one to you.
Yeah, so we have a couple pricing programs that you can take advantage of through your DISTI. They do vary by, actually no, they don't vary by DISTI, but you can reach out to your sales counterpart at Ingram Micro, Tech Data, or Synex for more information there. Things like deal registration or BitGrid, you can take advantage for Surface Hub deals.
You're on mute.
I think I lost you, Jane. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
We can hear you.
Yes, I did my usual trick and put myself on mute. And thank you to my colleague Yassine, who is on a mute alert, because I have a tendency to do that. So thank you, Yassine, for reminding me. Yes, great, Leticia, good explanation. And remember, guys, there are lots of opportunities to special bid any opportunities with your distributor. So make sure you've got that lined up with your distributor so that they know what opportunities you're working on, and if there's any discounts available, they will help you out there. I'm going to just take one question that we've had in. Actually, it was on yesterday's webinar, but I want to bring this up today because it is quite important. And that is, when will the Hub 2S display version be available? Now, we don't have any more information, and we don't have anybody from Microsoft Corp on here to comment, but right now we don't have the roadmap. It's not on the roadmap that we can see. So our focus is on obviously the 82, so the 85 inch and obviously the 50.5 inch, and that's obviously the main focus at the moment. So no more information to share with you on that at the moment. Okay, so unless anybody's got any more questions, I've got one more question, and I'm going to direct this at Yazin, and that is, okay, this is a good one. We have a customer with Service Hub 1 units. When will the Windows 10 Team 2020 software be available?
That is also a very good question. And Windows 10 Teams 2020, you can do a hard install of that using a USB. So that's probably the easiest way to do it if you haven't been able to pick that up. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so stick it onto a USB and you can install it onto your Hub 1 as well.
Wonderful, thank you, Yazin. So I know Yazin and all of our collaboration specialists have had lots of experience in putting the latest software on Hub 1, and their advice is to actually put it onto a thumb drive or a USB drive first and do it that way rather than streaming over the internet, because that can take hours apparently. So that is, let me just check the questions one more time. I didn't see any more. No, we're all good. That's answered everybody's questions. We will make this video available to you. Please share with your colleagues. We will also share the previous webinar, the education webinar. Don't forget, we've got 2 more webinars coming up. Same time, same place next week and the following week. Next week, we're going to talk about Hub in the financial services, and the week after, Hub in public sector. So thank you to Leticia Gittins from Microsoft and Yazin Heo from Collabtech. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week.
Thanks, everyone.